Education was an important part of the vision John Wesley North had for the city he founded in 1855. In fact, the Lyceum, the oldest building in town, was built as a reading room, circulation library, and debating society. It was devoted to fostering a taste for literature and a thirst for knowledge. The first meeting in it was held on November 4, 1857, just 2 years after the town was founded. The lending library opened on January 27, 1858. The collection held 216 books, a significant number in those days. The Lyceum was built by the Lyceum Society, which took its name from the place where Aristotle taught. It cost $580 to build. Citizens of Northfield contributed $400. John North, the Society's first president, donated the land on 4th Street and the rest of the needed money. That was a lot of money for a town just getting started, but was in keeping with North's vision and the priorities of Northfield citizens, many of whom had come from New England. The building was and is a simple wood-frame structure, as were nearly all of the first-generation buildings built in Northfield. The symmetrical ordering of the doors and windows gives the Lyceum a sense of importance. The Lyceum Society debated many topics. On the solemn subject of war, it resolved that war is never under any circumstances justifiable. As for dancing, it concluded that it was a proper amusement for young people. The building was used by other organizations in the frontier town, too. It served as the town's first city hall, and the Methodist and Baptist societies met there before there were any church buildings in Northfield. The Lyceum Society held no meetings for several years during the 1860s, rough years for America. The Civil War split the nation between 1861 and 1865, and for many years before and after. 81 sons, fathers, and brothers from Northfield, then a town of less than 2,000, served in the war. 6 were killed and 19 were wounded or disabled. That wasn't the only fighting townsfolk were concerned about. In 1862, they found themselves on the fringes of the U.S.-Dakota War, known then as the Sioux Uprising. Although it only lasted 5 weeks, hundreds of people in southern Minnesota on both sides of the conflict were killed. In 1873, the Lyceum Society leased the building to the city of Northfield, and a new citizens' organization was founded. Named the Reading Room Association, it took over the failing Lyceum Library and refurbished it with the help from the city and donations from people of the town. To entice readers back to the facility, a local women's organization, the Gleaners, organized entertainments, lectures, and presentations by outside speakers as well as local talents. The Reading Room Association and the Gleaners were able to increase the collection, add new shelves, and bring in more furniture. Soon people from all walks of life were coming to the library to read literature of all kinds. However, as the city continued to grow and churches and other organizations built or found other space, the Lyceum was used less and less. By 1877, only 4 years after the Reading Room Association and the Gleaners took charge, a headline in the Rice County Journal declared the Lyceum Society a bankrupt institution. The society was finally dissolved in 1884, and the building was sold. Its books became part of the Northfield Lending Library that was housed in the first YMCA on Bridge Square. You can learn more about that in our narrative of Northfield's Carnegie Library. Following the dissolution of the Lyceum Society, the building passed into the hands of a succession of private owners. In the late 1880s, a doctor's office occupied the building along with a photographic gallery. By 1927 it was a private residence, and during the Great Depression it was used as a chicken hatchery. During World War II, a dentist set up his offices there. 20 years later, another dentist, Elvin Heiberg, opened a practice there with his father. In 1973, Elvin Heiberg began the process of restoring the town's oldest building. He removed the inauthentic log cabin siding that had been added at some point, returning the exterior to close to its original appearance. Today, the building is the home of a retreat center and is a quiet reminder of the town's origins and its enduring interest in individual and communal growth.